How you doing, YouTube? Want to do a video on Medford knives. Now, this is not to a specific knife per se. It's just kind of a general Medford knife review. The reason I'm making this video is because I own 4 Medford knives. This 187, which was 425, and well, that's what they run. I got mine on eBay for a little cheaper, and then I also have the 187 flipper version, which I also got that same kind of a cheaper deal on eBay. But they were still, $400 each. $400 knife, and when you buy a $400 knife, you want what you pay for is a tank of a knife that's gonna last you for a really long time, and you expect a lot out of a $400 knife, or at least I do. I know that it's not a one-off custom or nothing like that, but it's a high-end production knife. This knife and the 187 flipper, I don't have a lot of negative comments about, but I will say that, their fit and finish is, I'll say their finish is nice on the two 187s, but the fit, if you stand this knife up, I can't really do it justice on the camera, but that's standing straight up, and it's got that much play. The two scales don't even line up right, but other than that, knife feels great. Lockup is super rock hard. Doesn't have any blade stick. Centering is a little off, but not bad. On the other 187 flipper, it's solid. I mean, it's completely perfectly centered. So I was really happy with these two knives, despite the little bitty things like a little bit of flaws on the fit and finish. I got everything that I wanted. Blades almost perfectly center, completely overbuilt, tank of a knife. Lockup, great. No stick on the lockup, super early. It's pretty much everything that I wanted. So I thought, okay, well, if I can get this in a $400 knife, then I can only imagine what their $600 and $800 knives are going to be like. I don't have my Praetorian right here in front of me, but I will speak about it really quick. The Praetorian that I bought was just a Praetorian G. Great knife, fit, finish, perfect centering, perfect fit and finish, unlike the 187s. But my problem is that I could grab the knife, I could put my thumb right here and grab the tip of the blade, and I had lock rock. And I mean, I'm talking, this is right out of the box. And I would barely have to put any pressure. I almost cut myself. Barely any pressure on the top of this, and it would move. And so I contacted Medford Knife. They said, just send it right back in. We'll fix it. They were super nice on their customer service. I sent the knife back in, and they charged me, or I had to pay like $25 for shipping, because you have to ship it insured, because if the knife gets lost, it's not their problem, so on and so forth. So I buy a brand new knife, and then I automatically have to pay. I think that they should have to pay for the shipping there and back. Especially now, if it's a knife that you've had for a while, and then it all of a sudden starts giving you trouble, that's one thing, But if you've had the knife for a while, or if you've gotten it brand new out of the box and it has lock rock, that's, to me, is a no-brainer. They should pay for the shipping. But anyways, they didn't. I sent it there. They sent it back. I got it out, shook it around. It was a little bit better, but it still had lock rock. So then I contacted them again, and I tried to just, live with it. I tried to say, okay, well, if I have it in my hand and I'm pressing on that lock bar, there is no blade play. But if I'm holding the knife like this and I poke down and into something, I can feel that movement. I just check my knives every so often. I'm sure all of us do. You're sitting there flipping it on open and closed. You check the side to side and you check the up and down. And every time I checked it, it had slip. And so that drove me crazy. And I called them again, and they said ship it back. I shipped it back for the second time. Got it. And this time they paid for the shipping there. So I bought the knife for $600. Immediately I had $50 worth of shipping fees for the first time. Then they felt bad that they didn't get it right the first time. So I paid they paid for the shipping there. I had to pay for the shipping back. So altogether I had $675 in the knife. And, I hadn't even gotten to use it. So that right there I was pretty pissed off about. But here's what they did. They decided to shave a little bit off of the lock bar and make the lock bar move in closer, hoping that, and put more tension on the lock bar, hoping that it wouldn't slip out. Well, both times that they did that, I lost my early lockup. It went from, like 15% to 30. And then the second time I got it back, it went from 30% to a little over 50%. So now you could already see the gap right here. You could see into the knife. So I got a brand new knife that I've never even used, that I paid $600 for, and then paid $75 worth of shipping to get it worked on. And I get it back and I'm at over 50% lockup. So I send a text to Greg Medford's phone. I didn't want to call him and bother him. So I text him. I'm like, hey, look, here's the story, blah, 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 blah. I'm at my last resort. I don't know what to do. Awesome again in customer service. He called me right away. He was like, hey, look, what's going on? Explain to me a little bit better. I explained to him pretty much everything that I'm telling you guys right now. And he said, well, I bet you it's not a lock that sticks, is it? And I said, no, it doesn't stick. My 187s have a little bit of a rub. I wouldn't say they stick, but they have a little bit of a rub. And he's like, yeah, those lock up really good. And I tell my guys that I sell knives to, this is Greg talking, that if I make it that super smooth, no rub, no nothing unlock, that yeah, they're going to have a little play in them. But it's not going to fail. And, when you've got your hand wrapped around it, it doesn't have any blade play in it, does it? And I'm like, no. And he said, then you were probably good to begin with. You should have never sent the knife in. Which again, if that was the case, then those people should have told me that to begin with, and I wouldn't be at 50% lockup. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. 50% lockup is fine, and I agree it is, but when, you specify in your knives that you put out knives with early lockup, it should be early lockup, especially when it's a brand new knife. Or you should have sent me a totally different knife, or you should have asked me, hey, do you want that kind of a stickier lock and have no problems with it up and down, or do you want that smooth lock and you're going to have a little up and down play? But I wasn't granted that option. And then I made the mistake of buying an $850 knife from them, thinking this thing has got to be a beast, and this thing has got to have rock solid lockup. I don't know if you can hear this. This brand new knife, brand new, never used. When I bear down on it, Yeah, it's got no up and down play. Fit and finish is perfect. Centering, completely perfect. But watch this. Side to side play. This one, rock solid. This one, rock solid. Both of my cheap 187, well, not cheap, but in Medford's world, cheap knives, perfect. Expensive knives. This is what I would call a safe queen, or something that I would put in a shadow box and hang on my wall and be like, yeah, it's a cool looking knife, but I can't use it. I bought this to be a hard use, badass, overbuilt knife. Paid $850 for it on an eBay, and I feel like I got ripped off both on this and my Praetorian, and I don't want to dump any more money into it. I mean, I don't want to pay another $40 round trip shipping to get a knife that's going to get, you know, my lockup at 50% and still wiggle. I don't know what to do. Anyways, I would appreciate anyone's comments on this. If you guys are having the same problems, or if you got a solution to my problem or anything like that, please let me know. Sorry this wasn't really a review. Maybe I do want to fully review this and the 187, because I think they're awesome knives, and I will do those videos. But this is my Praetorian. I'm not going to, and maybe that's why I don't see it there. I barely ever see reviews on Medford knives. And if they are, there's somebody like me that, doesn't do very many videos and puts one or two out, and, that's it. And the majority of the reviews on these videos, they're not coming from anyone other than Medford. And, I don't feel that you can justly review your own knife, your knife that you make. It needs to be in the user's hand and reviewed that way. And I think that's why so many of, like true knife collectors don't even pay any attention to Medford knives, because I kind of finding out that not very many people buy these and they think they're junk. But anyways, those are just all my personal opinions, and I would love to hear your opinions. So please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.